Hey guys, Carrie Scroggins, entrepreneur from Texas. And I'm continuing my video series today on Are you ready to become an entrepreneur too? I hope so. It's a wonderful way to live your financial career and just live your life because time is so important to all of us. Today I wanted to talk to you today about something that's very close to me and what I do because I'm an insurance agent. I want to talk about the types of insurance that you potentially will need when you open your business. Stuff you need to have day one that you open your business. And depending on what you are doing and the type of facility that you're opening or office that you're opening is kind of going to dictate the type of insurance policies that you would need for your business. So let's talk about the first one, which everybody needs across the board. Okay, and this policy, this coverage actually comes in a package policy or by itself, freestanding, as a monoline, meaning one policy package, and that's general liability insurance. General liability insurance protects you from a lawsuit in the event that whatever you're supplying or selling causes injury or damage to somebody else's person and their property, regardless of what it is. Okay, so what I mean by this is, let's say you have a hair salon and you are a beautician and you work out of your home or you work remotely. You're not in a retail spot, for example, but you do hair. Okay, and so you have a client, you do her hair, and for some reason her hair burns and you've got this cataclysmic problem that happened, and now this person has either hardly any hair or no hair, and they sue you for damages because you have caused them damages. They've lost their hair. That is a liability claim. So they file a lawsuit against you for whatever it is that they're suing you for, and it goes through the system, and you get to the point where a judge is looking at the lawsuit, and the judge either says you are guilty or you're not guilty. And if you are guilty, if you are liable for the damages that you've caused, this is where your liability insurance would pay for those damages or pay for the judgment that the judge is going to award against you for being liable for causing damage to somebody else's person or property. That's general liability insurance. And there's different things included in that policy that are standard. There's additional insureds, there's subrogation of premium, waiver of premium. That's where if the insurance company pays out, the insurance company tries to collect on what they've paid out to that individual on your behalf for your policy. There's completed operations. So another example of this would be you're a contractor and you go in and to somebody's home and you put a wooden floor down. And then for some reason the floor just starts to buckle and it doesn't stay down, it's defective, but you have completed that work. Okay, this could be down the line, could be a year, could be 2 years, and that person again sues you and you are found at fault. So you have to replace or pay for the damages that you may have finished a year ago. It's called completed operations, and it is coverage that protects you for work that you are doing or work that you have completed as a business. General liability insurance. It also pays for damages to a person, okay, medical bills, that sort of thing. If you hurt somebody in the process, if you damage somebody else's building, anything that your company does that affects a injury to somebody else's person or property, that's general liability insurance. And a lot of people who are, particularly now since COVID, are working out of their homes, and they have an office, but it's a home office, and they don't actually have people coming into their office. This is the type of policy that they would need. If you are selling online, even if you are selling online and still delivering product, but you don't actually have a brick and mortar facility, so people aren't actually walking into your location, then you would need general liability insurance, okay? If you do have a bricks and mortar location, an office or a retail space, or a salon where somebody comes actually in and walks into your location, anything where the public can access your business, you would need what's called a business package policy or commercial policy package. This includes general liability, but it also includes some other things. It can include your building, so if you have to insure your building. If you have a building that you're renting but you own and are responsible for a certain portion of that building, this can also include property damage. This is a package of policies that are put together, and it's generally for people who do have a retail spot where you're actually opening to the public and the public can walk in. People also think about this insurance and call it slip and fall insurance. You have a rug at the front door that is faulty, somebody trips on it, falls and breaks their arm, and they sue you. That's called trip and fall insurance, and that's part of this package policy because you are open to the public. There's a bunch of other things included in this policy, as well as other things that are included in your general liability, but these are just basic things that I'm talking about. General liability insurance, commercial package policy, both of them have general liability in them. The second one, the package policy, has other package options available, and this is generally for a retail or office location. Next big one that most people are very confused about as to whether or not they even have to have this is workers' compensation insurance. In the state of Texas, I'm just talking about Texas now. In the state of Texas, workers' compensation insurance is not mandatory. You are not required as a business owner to offer or have workers' compensation insurance for yourself or for your employees. It's not a requirement by the state. What I would tell you is this. You've got to ask yourself, what are you doing? What business functions do you have? If you're a paper hanger or a painter or a carpenter or a builder or any sort of contractor where your employees or your subcontractors can get hurt, then I would seriously urge you to consider workers' compensation insurance. Because if you don't and somebody gets hurt on the job, then those expenses are going to be yours to pay for by yourself as a business. You are self-insuring at that point. If you have employees and they are in a industry that could be considered risky, or your employee is at risk of injury, then I would seriously encourage you to consider workers' compensation insurance. Because the cost of medical right now, as we know in this country, is just absolutely through the roof. It is astronomical, and it can put your business out of business very quickly. If you even have just one workers' comp claim, it is a very serious decision as a business owner, and I would encourage you to evaluate what you're going to be doing, what kind of exposure your employees have, and then make an informed decision. Can you afford to pay for one person's injury? And let's just give an example of this, okay? You are a contractor, right? And you are remodeling a home. And your employee is on a ladder, and they're putting in fiberglass, spraying fiberglass into the ceilings. And they fall off that ladder, and they break their back. Could that happen? Oh, yeah. That's a serious life-changing injury. Not only could they become paralyzed, but they could have ongoing medical problems for an indefinite period of time. If you don't have workers' compensation insurance, all of that is going to fall directly to your budget, and it is something you would be by law required to pay. Okay, so just think about the kinds of numbers I'm talking about if somebody was to have a cataclysmic injury like that, become a paraplegic or quadriplegic, and you have no mechanism to pay for those bills, their new life, because their life is going to change drastically on just about every level if you have that kind of sustained injury. And then that all goes to your bankroll. That all becomes your responsibility. So it can have serious consequences. That could put you out of business very, very, very quickly. Workers' compensation insurance, it's a big decision, and I would encourage you to really do your due diligence and understand it and decide whether or not it is something that you would need. The other big one is what we call professional insurance, professional liability, or errors and omissions insurance. They're very similar. I am an insurance agent. CPAs a CPA would fall into this. A consultant would fall into this. I am offering insurance policies to my clients, and let's say I forget to explain something, or there's an omission, all right, or an error, or I didn't explain something correctly within the policy, and the client then comes back and says, oh, wait just a minute, you didn't explain that to me. Why am I now having to pay for this? That's called an error or an omission. And if you are in any kind of those services, I would strongly encourage you to buy errors and omissions insurance, because in those type of industries, it's a very complex world, and we are all human. We all make mistakes. I make mistakes. You make mistakes. And so it's always better to side on the side that you have protection versus what you don't have protection. So here's a good example of this. You sell a homeowner's policy to somebody, or you file taxes for somebody, and there is a problem, and there ends up being a claim for $50,000, okay? I'm using a roof because that's what a roof runs in Texas right now. For a pretty standard size home is anywhere from $40,000 to $50,000. And I don't have errors and omissions insurance because I forgot to tell the client that, oh my goodness, this particular homeowner's insurance policy doesn't cover a metal roof. I'm so sorry, but your roof is not covered. It was a mistake. I'm sorry, it was an error. Without this policy in place, I'd have to pay that $50,000 roof bill. If you make a mistake in accounting is another example of errors and omissions. It's a mistake. Mistakes happen. An error happened. But it is well worth the cost of this annually to protect your business from your own mistakes. They happen. We are human. None of us are perfect. And so to have this up front to make sure that you are protected in the event that you do make a mistake, or your employees making a mistake, it's so worth the investment to have it ready to go the day that you open your business. Malpractice is another very big one. These are obviously for medical practitioners, dentists, doctors, anybody that falls into that very broad spectrum. If you're doing that and you don't have it, I wouldn't be doing it. I'll just tell you right now, if you're in that field and you don't have medical malpractice insurance the day you open your business, in my opinion, you're crazy and you won't be around very long, because that is a kettle of fish that you just don't want to go into, because it is a quagmire, seriously. If you're in the medical industry at all and you are not carrying malpractice insurance, then you are not being advised correctly. If you're one of my clients, I'm going to tell you, you need to buy medical malpractice insurance before you even open your doors. Those are the big ones, okay? There's lots of other ones. There's a what's called an inland marine policy. This is something that you can schedule all your tools on, any kind of tools. In your package policy, you're going to have property coverage, which is not only going to potentially be your building, but it's also going to be everything in your office, your equipment, your furniture, your software, all of that. It's part of that package that comes in a business package policy, where it's sort of like if you look at a house, you're insuring the house, but then you're also insuring everything in the house. It's very similar thought process. You're insuring the building, and then everything that the company owns. You're protecting those assets: computers, furniture, software. There's cyber protection, because theft on the internet is so prevalent that that's now always included in it. There's just a lot that goes into opening a business, and insurance is a part of that. And you need to work with an experienced insurance agent that can look at your specific situation, your specific business, and tailor a package of policies for you. I cannot stand it when I have somebody that contacts me and says, I have all this insurance, I don't know what it is, I don't even know if I need it, and I'm spending all this money, and then I do an evaluation and I find out an agent just sold them insurance to sell them insurance and they don't even need it. That makes me angry as a fellow insurance agent. You need to work with somebody that understands commercial insurance and that can tailor the package of policies for you and your business. Please sit with somebody. Do not buy it online. Because if you're not educated in insurance, you won't know what is right and what is wrong, what you should or you shouldn't have. It's complicated. That's why we're required to have a license. That's why we're required to have continuing education every 2 years. I have 43 years of experience in the world of insurance, and insurance changes all the time. All the time. It is a fluid industry. Changes are happening all the time on policies. Changes are coverages are added, coverages are deleted, coverages are modified. So this is why insurance agents are required to have a license. This is why insurance agents are required to have continuing education. Please do not work with somebody who does not have experience, because it could cost you your business. Seriously, it could cost you your business. Those are the really big ones that, I just want to put out there. It's part of your planning that you need to be doing as an entrepreneur. You want to protect yourself. Commerce is not for lighthearted people. You need to be prepared. You need to understand what your exposure is. Work with somebody that can give you the protection that you need so you can have a phenomenal company, make millions of dollars, and be thrilled to death that you've become an entrepreneur. That's why I'm doing this video series, because there is a lot that goes into making this decision to have a business and be a business owner. And I really want you to do it the right way. I wish I had had somebody that was providing this type of information to me when I made the decision, the technical decisions that I just had to learn on the job. So I'm sharing that with you because it's important to me as part of the small business community to give back. Small business owners are the backbone of this great nation. So it's a way for me to say thank you and give back to this wonderful ability that I have to own my own business and be an entrepreneur. And I would love to share that with you because it is a wonderful, wonderful way to have a career and an income so you can live the life that you want to live. This is Carrie from KDS Insurance Services. Today our video is all about insurance, so please take a few minutes to watch it. It is a very important subject when you are making the decision to become an entrepreneur, and I would love to hear from you. That's what these videos are about, so please communicate. If there's a specific question, absolutely reach out to me. The best way to do that is to go to my main landing page, which is my name, CarrieDevlinscroggins.com. You can reach me on that platform, and I will definitely get back to you, and I would love to work with you too. It's what I do. It's what I love to do. Let's make sure you do it the right way so you can have a fantastic company and just fulfill your dreams. That's what this is about. So have a blessed Thursday, everybody. This is video number 4, insurance and making the decision to become an entrepreneur. Have a blessed day. See you soon.